Hello and welcome to episode 179 of the Veeam Community Recap. We're trying a new recording platform, so I don't know how it's going to go, but I do know
it works.
We hope it'll work. But I do know I'm in good hands with my wing person here today. Good morning, Safiya. How are you?
Good morning, Rick. Doing well. It's a busy week in the community team, as you probably know. This week is our swag week, so we launched our annual swag store. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, as of now, it has not launched, but hopefully we'll launch our Veeam 100 Summit registration later this week. So exciting times. How are you doing?
Very busy times. I'm doing great. Maddie's smart. She took vacation.
She took the week off. She's like, you guys deal with this stuff.
Yeah, and so I'm doing great. I'm a little stuffy. I don't know why, but I'm in sneezing and stuffy. So if I blow my nose,
the weather's changing.
Maybe.
It's like getting kind of colder, but it's also hot some hours of the day. Yeah, it's true. Ohio.
Sent the first one to school today, and then a week from today, the oldest one goes to university. Tears, sadness. Oh,
exciting times.
But as you said, it is a busy time in the community. So let's trying this new recording. Let's go in straight away, and we're going to take. Let's go full up on the share here. Mm-hmm. And by the way, friends, Safiya picked this list, and some of the things that I wanted to select, she found as well without any collaboration. But tell me about your first pick here.
Yeah, so this is a good announcement by Andy. Like you said, Rick, you were going to discuss this as well. Andy's a solutions architect here at Veeam, and we've called him out on the recap a few times. I know a few times that I've been on here, I've called out his name. So doing great with posting in the community. He wants people to know about the news of compatibility support for vSphere 8.0.3 and the latest version of VBR 12.1.2. So he mentions that there are a few limitations with this compatibility that people should be aware of, like backup jobs, including vSphere cluster VMs, they may fail. And Veeam is aware of this issue and plans to address it in the upcoming 12.2 update. The other limitation is NSXT 4.2.0, a lot of numbers, support. Since Broadcom has not made the software available for the backup partners like Veeam, it's currently not available, and Veeam has yet to test or confirm support for it, but they are working on that. And Rick, I know you wanted to show this today, so maybe get in depth with some of the KB articles that Andy linked.
Yeah, I had identified this KB article as one, this KB 4641 as one that I wanted to show. And then here's a little bit more specific about those kind of cluster backup jobs. And, you know, we have some partial betas of 12.2 that are internally in action, but it's reasonable to expect this month, August, or, you know, in the early September, will be fully available and promoted. So this is very much right around the corner. So, by the way, Andy, thank you so much for doing these types of things. This is super important, keeping the pulse of product management. A couple of comments here. The normal folk coming in here, and oh, this one, Dynamic, a newly minted.
Marcus, yeah, he's a new legend.
He, he even had some perspective here. By the way, Dynamic, cool blog name. I'm gonna come back to that later, maybe. But
should we show it for?
I don't remember this.
Promote his blog.
I mean, the short name of Dynamic's blog is "Better Veeam Than Sorry." Oh man, that's just the best. I love it.
Nice headline.
Rock on. Okay, next up. This is cool. We got one of the first public previews really since Veeam on, and that is from Philippe talking about Entra ID backup.
Yeah, Philippe is one of our Veeam legends, and that kind of relates to this post blog because Rick, recently you posted some of these backup Entra ID betas for the Veeam 100 community. So Philippe's goes under running this beta step by step, tenant configuration, running the job, restoring, even mentioning some errors that have been caught while assigning roles. And Philippe states in it that this is a known issue that has been reported by others as well. But yeah, this is really in depth. Maybe, yeah, like you said, probably one of the first people going through it publicly with this beta, which is awesome. And hopefully we see more, especially from our community members now that they have this beta available.
Yeah, indeed. And so, I mean, he walks through everything, and I'm going to go all the way down to the end here.
Yeah.
But he's even showing some of the different recovery tasks. And the one thing I like about the recovery here is that you can do these changes only, right? And one thing I want to highlight here, oh, that's an interesting username. One thing I want to highlight here is
Tesla
that,
Model X.
yeah, this user interface is kind of an embedded web page, right? So if we saw the Veeam demo, and then when we look at this type of blog post, you're kind of seeing some of the new things that are coming with Veeam Data Platform. And then two other things I want to highlight. I said, Rick, didn't you just talk about 12.2? What are you talking about 12.3? Well, the Entra ID capability will be part of 12.3. Okay, so we are now at a point where we can be a little bit more precise about that now that we have a beta. And I want to also highlight that while that web part of the restore is rather refined and good, there are some other parts of this that are still betas, right? So these icons and TBD, this is not the final. You'll see it also here and some of the other different places. And here, it's really just double checking, is that what we're going to call it? Where should it sit? What will it look like? These are some of the things that really don't matter to the engine, but will matter to the UI. And one of the things I told the Vanguards and Legends with this build is that, look, a lot of and that's actually that's my text. And I just did ask, and Philippe, thank you for relaying this. But I did ask that we make it clear that this is a preview. This is not going to be the look for some of the different parts downstream. But those TBDs in the UI are not visible on the restore engine, right? Because this stuff is and this is going to be part of Veeam backup and replication, which is important. But if you come down to this, for example, this is new. It still has some TBD elements to it, but this is actually the direction of the recovery engine that we're going to go with it. And definitely love the metadata comparison. So really good stuff, Philippe. Thank you for sharing it.
Rick,
yeah.
How can people access this beta if they're not a Veeam 100 member? Is it accessible to your day-to-day Veeam user?
I think that was even a comment or a question. Maybe it was somewhere else.
Pointed it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris asks, what about others who want this beta? And I thought here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's I thought about this answer. So I'll just go back to this here for a second. How Philippe has it is through the Veeam 100 program. If you're not a Legend or a Vanguard, you can ask your Veeam contact for it, but I need to caution it. Whoever issues the beta has to support it. And that can be a lot of work. And maybe the different regional teams may not have their full allocation of people, so it might be hard to take on something like that. So no guarantees. I cannot issue it to the masses. In fact, it's a bold move for our relatively small team to issue it to the Veeam 100. But you can ask your sales team for it. And then I also think it's reasonable to expect we'll have an additional beta as well for this. So, and this is, so I mentioned 12.2 in the previous post. August is the current goal for that. This one will be after that. Now, I'm not getting too specific into a date for 12.3, but I will say the Entra ID capability will be part of Veeam backup and replication, and it will be in 12.3, which will be the release after 12.2. Go figure. But big thank you, Philippe. Great stuff. And by the way, I'm not an Entra ID expert. What I do want to highlight to everyone else, I don't have my lab up, but I've been reporting some interesting, not bugs, but things we should do different. Like, for example, I found a scenario that I'm like, it's not a good idea. We need to change this. And then the other thing I'll say is that it was very, very easy to set up. I was literally able to do my first backup during the time it took me to eat a Jimmy John's No. 7 sandwich. So really easy.
But that's relative. Who knows? It could take you a long time to eat a Jimmy John's sandwich, or it could take you a few minutes.
No, I'm really good at eating. I'm an expert at that stuff. All right. Third up is Mark with talking about some pure storage stuff. This is cool.
Yeah, another post from another Veeamer, Mark Paulin. He is a solutions architect as well, so a lot of solutions architect representation in this recap. he's a global solutions architect for Veeam's Pure Storage Alliance, and he's mentions that he's been asked multiple occasions, how fast can Veeam backup and replication back up to and recover from Pure Storage flash array? So in this post, Mark is sharing a report with performance results on this very question. He gives you a look into his lab environment and shows you like what Rick is showing on the screen here, and discusses some of his findings. So Rick, do you want to kind of go in depth of what Mark found and why it's so impressive?
Yeah. So first of all, Mark, big thanks for doing this content. And people always want to know about the speeds and feeds. How fast can Veeam go? And it reminds me of the program we did in either 2020 or 2021 called Beat the Ghost Dev, where the numbers don't matter, but what does matter is that we were able to prove that there was no software limit provided by Veeam, right? So the thought is Veeam was really powerful, high performant data flow. What I think is the most important stat right here, Mark, restores were faster than backups. Holy buckets. That is awesome. And I think that's the biggest, most overlooked thing when it comes to any backup solution, is ensuring that you have, commensurate performance for both backups and recoveries. And like, that is just fantastic. And just to give, the folks watching this some context, Mark lives and dies. No, he just lives in the
Don't curse
world.
him.
He is laser focused, is what I'm trying to say. Laser focused on our joint solutions with a number of our partners. And we use the Pure Storage we have a couple of arrays in our lab. I use a Pure Storage array. Very happy with it. We have a couple others as well, but that one is really performant, really working well for us. So I also want to highlight, he's mentioning some of these best practices and some of these reference architectures. Love it, love it, love it. And one of them is on a Pure property. One of them is on a Veeam property. Dare I try this one? Aha, it's Joe. I knew it would be him, right?
OG Joji.
OG Joji coming through. But like, the thought here is this is really good stuff. So big thank you, Mark. And actually, I'm very, very happy that you shared that restore performance data, because that speaks to me. I like to say backup for show, recover for dough. All right. So now we're going to go into special department news, and we have two things we want to highlight. One would be a week. Well, we're recording on a Wednesday, so it's next week, but a week from tomorrow, Dallas-Fort Worth area user group. And we got the May team, Tom and Jonah, as well as one of our own on the product strategy team, Jason Buffington, will come by. Still time to sign up. I think it's a good call.
Yeah, just a reminder, last minute reminder to register. Still week 2. It'll be at round 1. And from what I've seen, I don't think we have a round 1 in Columbus. I've never heard of it, but it's like an arcade type of facility. And they have Object First will be doing a presentation there. Yeah, looks very fun.
Whoa.
And last one they did was at another arcade. So
yeah, cool. They got bowling, party,
a lot of fun
karaoke,
stuff. Yeah.
Food, games. Yeah, that looks like good time. It's right up the and actually make sure we all click here to register.
Yeah, click there and that'll actually take you to the registration page. Still some time to register. There'll be discussions on Veeam with immutable storage, the vendor presentation from Object First, and like you mentioned, Jason will be doing an Ask Me Anything session. So,
well, that's interesting, because they're going to be talking about, I might even want to go. I don't know.
You're going to go?
Who's going to be talking about that? That'll be interesting. But yeah, we'll see. Good stuff. The user groups. And by the way, if you're thinking about attending, please do. But if you're also in the area, you're thinking about maybe even leading, we'd love to have a problem of several leaders. This is a big area as well. Texas is a big state too, right? So definitely reach out. Will anyone from our team be there? Safiya,
Jason.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
you
no.
or no? Okay,
no,
cool.
Not this time.
Okay, cool. But anyways, check it out. 4 p.m. That's the time I did the one last week. Kind of works after work, if you feel my flow. But anyways, good stuff. Thank you, May team, Tom and Jonah, for leading that as well.
Definitely.
All right, we got something new, and we're not talking health and wellness. We're talking health check. What in the heck is this?
Health Check Clinic. So, like I mentioned before, this is kind of the solutions architect show today, Rick,
Yeah.
I think. This is a new group. I believe 2 weeks ago, you and Madalena went over the new group Calculator Commons, and that's also run by our solutions architect here. And they wanted to start this group as well, Health Check Clinic. It'll be run by Adam Congdon from the solutions architect team. And this is a space to get updates on the tool, the health check tool, and provide feedback, collaborate, and learn if you're unfamiliar with it. So join whether you already use the tool or whether you know nothing about it and just you're curious and want to start. It'll be a good group to learn from. And I'm looking forward to seeing the content that comes out of it.
Indeed. So the health check tool is a really good way to take an additional view of the health of a Veeam environment. So we're very familiar with things like, oh, do you have immutability, and what like Threat Center will do. But this is more like the health of the environment for a run state from the architect's perspective. So Adam has been instrumental in making this tool up on GitHub, and you can also go right in there and get it. So this is linked on the homepage of this user group. So really good stuff. Thank you, Adam. Adam, by the way, nice guy, really smart, longtime Veeamer. But if you ever get to know him, ask him what he did for a job before Veeam. There you go. All right.
Interesting story behind it? Or?
There's a story behind it.
Okay.
All right. So next up, who's new? And thank you, Safiya, for prepping this. And two things. One, I think we skipped a week because we had the hack takeover. But Madalena was at that Veeam tour in Jakarta with her own booth about our community.
Yeah, we should have included a picture of like.
Oh, she's going to bring pictures.
Huge booth. Yeah.
She's going to bring pictures, I'm sure.
When she comes back. Yeah, 2 slides worth, 174 new people from the past 2 weeks. So that's great, especially for the summer, which sometimes, we see people are on vacation. Yeah, shout out to Green Daddy, but, we see people on vacation, so they might take a break from work-related things. But 174 in the past 2 weeks is a great number. So welcome everyone to the community, and we hope to see you engage.
Yeah, there's some names up in here, friends. This is cool. I love love these types of names. These are welcome everyone. I just love seeing them.
Yeah, any of your favorites, Rick? Do you think?
Oh, I'm just popping around. I've already seen yours. Oh,
you are? Okay.
Pavel, nice to see you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
A lot of Veemers as well joining recently, which is nice to see.
All right. Coolest usernames. Completely random by Safiya. Sir Vizalot, Lizard Lurker, Green Daddy 20, and Crazy Watermelon. Watermelon is actually quite a nice fruit.
It is. Very refreshing.
You ever put salt on it?
No.
Try it sometime.
It's good. Is it kind of like when people add tahini to fruits and stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of like a spice to
Something like that. Yeah. So I'm not going to go crazy and put soy sauce on my watermelon, but
is it good?
It just enhances it a little bit. So just a littlest bit. All right. And Alfred's pick this week is Frodo of the Shire, if I'm saying that right.
Frodo of the Shire. Yeah. It's a Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh, it is. Oh, that
Frodo
movie.
Bings, I think. I've never even watched, but I knew when I saw the name. I was like, I think some of the fans will appreciate that. So
well, that's interesting.
I like when people reference movies.
I don't know LOTR, but I do know that people call it that. So
people need to make Star Wars related names, and then you'll be a fan. Rick loves Star Wars.
I'm a scholar there. Yes, I do love. In fact, I have long on my list to do. I can't blow my secret, but I'm working on like explaining everything you need to know about something as a trend in technology has been told to us in Star Wars. So working on that. But yeah, I love Star Wars. In fact, I just watched the Acolyte series. I'm going to go watch it again, put it all together in my mind. But yeah. All right, Safiomo, thank you so much for prepping the Who's New, prepping the content, and being with me on the Revenar? No, how about the recap? I was thinking webinar. I was thinking webinar.
Webinar, revenue.
That's tomorrow, not today. I got a webinar tomorrow. Awesome. Thank you so much. I think I even voluntold you for next week too.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, it's funny. This day, I'm actually moving my daughter into college next week, so I think I did move it.
Recap on a Tuesday.
Tuesday
to be released on a Friday.
Yep.
Or we can record after this. We'll see.
Nothing but the highest for y'all in the community. Okay. The planning is rich. I tell you. All right. But also let us know if this recording quality is any better, friends, because I'm always trying to enhance that. We're using a different mechanism. We were just using Teams if you couldn't figure that out before. That's easy, but let's see if this is any better.
Rick's camera quality, though, I think everybody will notice is incredible because he has a professional kind of camera. It's not a webcam like the rest of us over here. Your camera broke.
Well, this is a mouse, but my thing broke, so I had to do something. So long story, but I have like a little camera with an actual optical lens, and it is stream friendly, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'll just put that up there, and that works just as good. But it does do a lot of jump, and people are saying it's a little blurry back there. But yeah, I mean, it's good enough. But we'll see.
Very professional looking.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we will see you next week.